What's up, gamers? How the heck are you? I hope you're doing great as always. My name is Epic Pins, and we are going to be talking about Grounded like we usually do. Now, look, a couple months ago or a month or so ago, I made a video stating things that you should be working on, 5 things in specifically that you should be working on to prepare yourself for the full release of this game at the end of this month. Well, that's outdated now. Ever since Homestretch came out and basically just turned our world upside down when it came to armor and certain aspects of the game, then well, we don't need a lot of the stuff I suggested anymore. So I thought about making a new video to prepare you for the future, basically. So now I do want to preface this by saying you should restart the game. You should start from fresh, make a new save, start from fresh so that you can experience the story all the way through, because things will be updated and things will change as the full release comes out. If you're wondering why my TV's not working, because it's stupid. No, you guys are used to seeing something on that screen. Well, it's dumb. Ignore it, okay? A little bit peeved about it right now. I tried for like an hour to get it to work. Anyway, let's get to the video. All right, my number one is still the same of the last video. It's sap. Collect a ton of sap. Now, there are still 3 ways to collect sap. You can collect the small little droplets that you find throughout the yard, either on small branches or underneath trees and things like that. Or you can go find the giant deposits. You just have to break open with a hammer, collect the little droplets on the ground, or you can create yourself a sap collector. Now, the sap collector can be placed on the bottom of the giant tree or on the giant log over in the backyard, and then it just over time collects sap for you. You just come by, pick it out of there, wait for it to refill back up, and pick it out again. Now, I will say that if you have one of the sap turret combinations where you were able to place down a turret and then you can add sap collectors to that turret all the way around, so that you can basically have a sap collector right next to your house no matter where it's at, that still works. At least it does in my game, and I'm in the current update of the game, in the Homestretch update, and it still works for me. I still think they are going to patch this and it's not going to work. You guys can let me know in the comments if it does work, if it doesn't work for you, or I haven't tried to make a new one, so maybe they've stopped you from being able to make it, but if you still have one, it's still works. So that being said, just remember, if you still have it, don't destroy it, because it's still very useful. You can collect a ton of sap off these things. Anyway, so moving on. Number 2 is collect a ton of building materials. Now, the reason I say collect up on a bunch of building materials instead of actually building is because a lot of people are going to want to build in the upper backyard where there's still a construction zone going on, where all the new stuff's going to happen. Don't build there yet, because we have no idea what the terrain is going to officially be, and the last thing you want is to spend time on a giant house or whatever and have a root show up in the middle of your house, blocking off any way to enter it or to even get to the materials that you've collected. Don't do that. So what I say is, just outside of the construction zone, maybe a little bit back, maybe towards the bike or something like that of the backyard, place a small little hut down with a bunch of chests inside of it, and fill that thing with all the building materials you need. I recommend mushrooms just because it's easy to store and you can store a ton of it, and it's really easy to set up quickly. That way you can get a base going in that area and just be ready to take on whatever challenges that area has to offer. Number 3, collect a bunch of bug materials. Now, I said Black Ox parts in my original video, and that still holds true because there is Black Ox armor possibly coming. It looks like Black Ox parts that you'll probably need for that armor, but it's probably not going to take a ton of them, so just have a good stockpile of that. But what you need is, now that we have the new upgrade materials, the fashion stones, or the fashion rocks, and the tough rocks. So now that we have those things, when you get to the ability to create them, it takes bug parts along with sap to create them. You're going to need bee fuzz, mite fuzz, larva spikes, and spider fangs. So as long as you can collect a ton of those, you'll be able to craft as much upgrade material as possible and be ready to upgrade your armor. This moves me on to my 4th one. Upgrade your favorite armor and favorite weapon. You want to go ahead and have those fully maxed out so that no matter what happens, no matter what you face, you'll be ready for it. Because if you can get this stuff fully maxed out, whoo, you're gonna be set, let me tell you. So get whatever your favorite armor is, whatever your favorite weapon is. If you haven't done it already, go ahead. It's not super difficult to get them fully upgraded, but go ahead and get them fully upgraded and be ready to take down whatever that backyard has to offer. Because if we're looking at Black Widows, possibly a new flying creature, could be Wasp, could be something else, and we know we got the Mantis on the way, but no telling how hard that thing's gonna be. If we can take these things on right away, this is the best way to do it. Prepare yourself for that. Now, number 5 is going to be kind of like a duh one, but you need to be practicing your combat. Anything you're not proficient at, if you're not proficient at blocking, practice your blocking. Go find a relatively light hitting bug, maybe something like a larva, not the ladybird larva. They have sizzle and they hit kind of hard if you're not wearing the proper armor. But maybe it's just like regular larva. They don't hit necessarily super hard, but they are kind of quick. Okay, so that way you can get your timing down. Now, each bug does have a certain timing when you're looking for like their attack patterns, but just learn them and learn them as best you can. But look for cues and things like that so that when you go into the next part of the upper backyard, you can go ahead and bank that. A few things I feel like, such as like the Black Widow and things like that, will probably have a relatively the same type of movement. Now, they could change it. I don't know that. But if you go up against the Black Widow and the Mantis, anything like that, you're going to want to be able to block and be ready for those fights, because I feel like they're going to be intense. Now, I say this because the upper backyard is going to be a tier 3, possibly tier 4 combat. It's going to be higher level creatures, hands down, and they're going to hit very hard. So be ready to block, have everything you need, be ready to upgrade or have your mutations upgraded so that you can have your perfect blocks and everything like that ready to go. Just practice that, practice, because that is an aspect of this game that you cannot escape. Trust me, I've tried. I try very hard to not have to use blocking because I find it annoying. Okay, I want to fire my crossbow and shoot things in the face, but sometimes you're in confined areas and you have a lot of enemies around you and you can't just run around and shoot things. You have to be able to block. So that being said, practice your combat, kids. Well, guys, that's the video, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you take away some of the content from this and really apply it into your games. Enjoy the game, guys. Like I said, you're gonna want to restart because it's going to be a fresh story. It may not even seem like we know the story just because we're able to play it all the way through and fully enjoy it from every aspect that we can. So I'm telling you this now. Restart your game, but if you don't want to, use these tips and tricks, okay? If you guys end up liking that video, please hit the like button below. It does help with the algorithm. If you end up liking me at all, I'm here for all your grounded needs in most survival games. If I can get my hands on them and play them for you guys, I love them and I love hanging out with y'all. So if you guys enjoyed me at all, please hit that subscribe button. I'd love to have you join the channel. We are growing and I am super excited for it. I cannot tell you how excited I am and how thankful I am for everybody who has just taken a chance and hitting that subscribe button. Thank you so much, and I will gladly catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.